Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to play around with some new beautiful makeup. I've got the Natasha Denona Hyper Natural Face Palette. It's not new on the market, but it's new to me. And I do also have some Tilbury lipsticks, a new YSL mascara, and a Fenty Beauty Invisimatte mattifying setting powder. So if you're interested in seeing me playing around with some of this new makeup, then please feel free to subscribe and hit the like button and notification bell. But let's jump into the products. So I'm going to, as a primer, because I'm going to use this palette, I think I will use some of the other Natasha Denona Hyper or High Glam in this High Glam line. So I'm going to use this primer. It's the Hygen Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum. It's actually a very nice primer, and even though I have very oily skin, it does work okay. It's not the most mattifying primer, but it is very beautiful. So I'm using about 3 drops for my entire face, and I'm just massaging it into my face. It is very lightweight and moisturizing. It just feels very nice on the skin. For my foundation, I'm going to use the Chantecaille Sheer Glow Bronzer Face Tint. It's really a favorite. It's just such an easy, quick product, for also very nice product for no makeup looks. The only thing that annoys me is that it comes in this jar instead of a pump container. So you need to kind of scoop it out of the jar. I don't like that. It is very glowy product, but I think it sets down. It's like when it dries, it sets down beautifully. I'm not going to use any concealer today, so I'm applying this also in the eye area. Down the neck so I don't get any lines. So the sheer tint is on my skin, and I just love this product. It's so beautiful. Leave your skin with such a beautiful luminosity. Very beautiful, but I can only use this in the summer times because in the winter it's too dark for me, so I enjoy using it in the summer. So we're going to set the skin with the Huda Beauty setting powder in the Cupcake shade. This is a new setting powder to me. I like it, but I think it is pretty powdery. It's a very heavy powder, I think. And I don't like to look too powdery. I like to have my skin looking pretty natural. But with my oily skin, I need to set my face, especially in the summertime. So now it's time to open this beautiful product and see how it looks inside. So here you have the palette. It's very, very beautiful. Like a soft pink, almost a little bit of a very light, subtle lavender color. Very beautiful. And here you have it inside. So you have 5 eyeshadows, and then you have this blush, and this side you have contour / bronzer. Very beautiful. So this is the claims about this palette is that it's a no makeup eye and cheek essential palette, and it combines the no makeup concept with all these new skincare infused this hybrid Hygen line she has. So the product is infused with skincare infused products also in the eyeshadows. And the names of the eyeshadows are like named after which occasion or what kind of statement you want to make. So one is called Everyday, and Everyday is described as a hyper silk light medium brown. And one is called Dreamy, the next one, and then we have Statement, Soft, and Casual. So I'm going to swatch these. Wow, these are so silky and creamy and really smooth. They glide on the skin. So this is Everyday, a hyper silk light medium brown. It's very beautiful. Then we have Dreamy. It's more of a top coat. It's a sparkling wet effect shade. Very beautiful also. Glides on beautiful. Statement is a hyper silk medium dark brown. Soft, this pink shade. It's a hyper silk rosy vintage peach. Also beautiful. And the last shade, Casual. Wow, also very beautiful. It's described as a hyper silk satin taupe. So look at these shades. They feel so buttery and creamy and just glides on the skin. So let's swatch the bronzers. So here you have the bronzers. They are very subtle or light on me. You have the lightest one. You can almost not detect it. Let me see if I can build it up a bit. The bronzer is very creamy, and even though it's a powder bronzer, it does feel extremely creamy. There you have it. Maybe you can see it. It is very light, almost a little grayish or beigey on my skin. And the medium shade. And you can see the darkest bronzer. So it's not very dark bronzers, but I think I can make these work. The darkest one as a bronzer, and the other one I can probably use on the eyes. And there you have the two blush shades, the light one and the dark one. So it's a pink, very light pink, and it's described as a coral pink, the darker one. So yeah, definitely not a very... The eyeshadows I think most skin colors can use, but the face products, I don't think you can use it if you have too deep of a skin tone. I'm like a medium, and I think that these are almost... I can use them, but I don't have to go much deeper until I can't use these one. But let's put them on the face. So I'm using a River 24 brush. It's a pretty dense brush, but still soft, not dense like something like this that you could use for foundation or liquid products. It's not that as dense. But I'm going to start with I'm just mixing all three shades of the bronzer and see how it works on my skin. And I did set my face with powder, so let's see if it works beautiful on top of powder as well. I think it does. I hope it does. This does glide on. Very beautiful, very easy to blend, and the shade when you mix them is a very nice bronzer shade actually. It's not too cool toned. And you can build it up. So as you can see, very beautiful bronzer for me on my medium skin tone. And it does actually just melt into the skin. I would say that this bronzer is a matte bronzer, which is probably going to be very nice for me because I did use some beautiful luminous products on my skin, but when you have oily skin, it's very nice to have a good balance between some mattifying products and some luminous products, because I still want my beautiful glowy luminous skin, but I don't want sweaty skin. So yeah, there you have the bronzer. I need to build it up a bit, but you can build it up, and then it's actually very subtle and very natural looking on the skin. For the blush, I'm going in with the River 04. And I think I want to start with the light pink shade and just see how it looks on the cheeks. Okay, you can see it, and it is pretty subtle, I would say, but it's not a color that kind of suits me or that I would gravitate towards. So let's try the, can you see the light shade? It does give just a subtle pink flush to the skin, but I don't know if the camera picks up on that, but I wouldn't say it looks grayish, but it's not, I think it's just ever so slightly too pale for me actually. So I'm going to top it off with the deeper shade, and this is just 2 taps in the palette, so it does pick up. It's quite powdery actually, both the bronzers and the blushes, but they set down to the skin, but they set down in a matte. They set down matte. I wouldn't say that I detect any luminosity. Let me put on the glasses so I can see the details even better. No, it's really just a matte blush. I don't mind that actually because of my oily skin. And again, as I said, with my luminous skin tint and the luminous primer or moisturizing primer, I think it's actually, I think it could be very good. So I'm just going to blend in the edges using the bronzer brush, just to make sure everything is nice and blended. But I do actually think it just looks like I have a nice natural flushed cheek, so I kind of like how it looks. Very beautiful. I like it actually more than I expected when I saw the swatches. I must admit that. Beautiful. For my eyes, I'm going in with a River 16 brush. And I'm using the medium bronzer shade just to kind of set my lid, so I'm using it all over the lid. It's actually a very nice lid shade or transition shade, very neutral, very subtle, but does add some color to the eyelid, just very subtle. I actually started out with, I wanted to use this lighter brown and the topper shade, but now when I'm looking at these, I think I want to use the pink and the taupe. So I'm going in with the taupe in the outer corner, and I'm using a River 02. It's more of a dense flat brush to pick up the product. And I'm going into the outer corner of the eye. It does glide on very beautiful and just very with a minimum of effort from my side. It's a very beautiful color. So that was the shade Casual. So this is the casual shade, so I guess that this is what you can wear just on an everyday basis when you don't want to be too glam or anything. I actually think it's a very beautiful shade. So that was the shade Casual, this taupe shade on the outer corners. And then I'm going in with the pink shade on the rest of the lid. And I do actually go over the more taupey shade to make sure that the two shades are nicely and melted together. So like this. Very, very beautiful. And then I take the bigger number 16 brush and I go back into that middle bronzer shade, and I'm just going to go over the edges in the crease, just swipe back and forth. Like that, beautiful. I like these two shades together. These two shades, they are very beautiful and it's very easy to work with, but that was also the purpose of this palette. In the description on Natasha Denona's website, it says that it's supposed to be very user-friendly and like idiot-proof. I would say that's not what they write, but you can really work with this palette without any makeup skills actually. So very beautiful. And the more I look at my cheeks, I really like this very subtle pink color on me. So very, very beautiful. And to stay in the Natasha Denona, this new Hygen or High Glam skincare infused product line, I picked out this, what was it called? The Glow Beautifier. Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier. And I picked out the shade 2 medium. I also have the lighter one, but it's a little bit too light for me in the summertime. And this I'm actually going to apply with my fingers because that's how I kind of learned that I like this product, because if I use a brush or even a damp beauty blender, I think it sits on top of the skin, and I really didn't like this product to begin with. But after playing around with it, it's very soft and very almost creamy, but there you have it. Look at that glow. It's like wet skin, very beautiful. But when you apply it with your fingers, I think it's the easiest way to kind of make it almost melt into the skin and not sit on top of the skin. So I'm going to apply it to the high points of the cheek and on top of my eyebrows. Look at that glow. It's crazy. But it is actually very beautiful. So now it's applied to the skin, and then I just like to kind of go over it a few times just to make sure that it's nice and blended into the skin and kind of absorbed into the skin almost. So like this. So we got some glow back in the cheeks. I hope you can see it. I think the light's better on this side. Very, very beautiful. And for my brows, I picked up this Benefit Precisely My Brow Detailer. It's also a fairly new product. I think it came out in the beginning of the year. Normally I'm using the Precisely My Brow, like the pointy one. So this is in the same line, but a bit different. So let's take a look. This is the product, and I got mine in the shade 4. The same shade that I use in the other one. So let's take a look at this. So here you have the difference in Precisely My Brow and Precisely Detailer. So I don't know if you can see it, but the Detailer, this new one, it's much smaller. The pencil is much thinner. So let's try to put this on the brows. I don't have like a really huge brow routine. I'm just kind of filling in where I think it's a little bit empty. So I always go on underneath. So let's see if I can show you. So underneath, just to make sure that the line is pretty strong, I would say, but not too strong. And then in the front part where it's a little bit more sparse, I just go over. So it's not too empty, but I don't want it like too filled out. So I think, and then on the outer part, the tail, I'm just kind of going over it. And you do also get the spoolie in the other end. And I'm doing the same on the other side. So I'm actually mostly just drawing on top of my brow just to make sure that any sparse areas are filled out. So like this. Okay. You need to be very careful with this. I just screwed it up too much and I wanted to pull it back down and I couldn't. And I actually broke off the top. Wow, now it disappeared. But I broke off a good piece because it's so thin. So be careful with that. That's a waste of product. But then after I filled in my brows, I like to just really go through it with the brush to make sure that I don't have any visibility or any visible drawings, if you can say like that, and just make sure that everything looks nice and blended into the hairs. Like that. And then I finish up with the 24-hour brow setter, the clear gel, and mine is almost empty. So I'm just really going over and I'm just combing upwards and out. So again, up and out. So I actually think now that I tried this detailer, that if you are someone who likes to draw on single hair strokes, I think the detailer is very perfect because you can be really detailed, as the name kind of implies. But with the Precisely My Brow, that's a bit thicker in the pen, I think when you do like me and you just go over the brow and kind of fill in very roughly, then I think this is actually better because this is too small and you use up the product way too fast than if you just need to draw on a few hair strokes. So I think that's the difference on these two. So for mascara, I did go ahead and pick up this YSL Mascara Volume Effect Faux Cils as a false lash effect mascara, and I picked up the brown shade because I have been wanting a brown shade. I have never had a brown mascara. This is how it looks, very beautiful with the logo. And I never tried a brown mascara. I tried that from Tilbury, that Pillow Talk in the pop shade, that more of a burgundy shade, and that's also very beautiful. But I want to try a real brown, and this is just called Rich Brown. So here you have it. I don't know, you can probably not tell that this is a brown mascara. Can I swatch this a little bit? I don't know if you can see it, but it is actually a very cool toned, sorry, a very cool toned brown shade. So let's put this on. I'm going to put this on off camera because I'm not good at putting this on in front of the camera, but you can see the finished results in a minute. So there you have it, the mascara is on, and I think it's very beautiful. It's much more subtle than a black mascara, but it's still very dark, so it does add some drama, and it does also add some lashes. This is a 2-layer. I don't know if you can see the mascara that well on the camera, but it's very beautiful. So for me, what's almost the most important thing with the mascara, of course, the wand, and when you apply it, that it goes nicely onto the lashes. But also now I need to see if it smudges on top and under my eyes, because I hate that. And with my very oily skin, oily eyelids, and I have mature eyelids, so I do have a lot of hooded eyes and a lot of loose skin on my eyelids, which sounds very charming, but that's just a part of it. But then it's extra, especially hard to find mascaras that stays on the lashes and don't transfer to your lids. So, but I'm very excited. I think it's very beautiful. I like the more soft look it does give with the brown, even though it's still a very dark brown. So beautiful. Really love the eyes today. I think it's so beautiful. Okay, so now I want to try a new Tilbury. Now, it's not a new lipstick, but it's new to me. It's not new on the market, but it's one of the in the kissing formula. What does it say? Does it say anything? No, it doesn't really say anything, but it's in the shade Runway Royalty. And this is supposed to be like a nude pinky peach shade. So there you have it. And let's watch this. So there you have it. It's actually a little bit deeper than I expected. A little bit more of a deep pink. It does remind me a little bit of just a little deeper Pillow Talk shade. I don't have the Pillow Talk medium, but I think it could be remind me a little bit about that. And then I don't know what I have been thinking, but I bought a new lip liner from Tilbury at the same time, and I bought the shade Foxy Brown. And I don't remember, to be honest, because these have been lying in my drawer for a while. So this is a very brown, almost like a chocolate brown, dark chocolate brown. It's It's actually a very beautiful shade, but I don't understand my thought process with buying these two together. But I think let's just try it on, see how it goes. So this is a very pretty shade, but very deep. So much deeper than I would say I normally go with my lipstick. So what I like to do is overline just slightly and then fill in the outer corners on top and bottom. And a little bit, I like to fill in a little bit more on the top lip just to make it last. So I think I'm going to go over it like this, but you know, the Charlotte Tilbury lip liners, they kind of sit down fast. But just soften the line like this. I don't really know if this lip goes with the eye look, but you know, I think that's why I wanted to go with the brown eyes, but I kind of changed my mind. It's actually a very beautiful combination. It does have some 90s vibes, I would say that. But I do like it. I didn't buy a lip gloss to go on top of this. I have this Natasha Denona Nude shade. I think I want to try to put this on top. That's pretty. I wouldn't combine the eyes with this lip, but I don't think it's terrible actually. I think it works. It's okay. But there you have it, Charlotte Tilbury Foxy Brown and the Royalty Runway in the Kissing. So these Charlotte Tilbury lipstick cases are so pretty. This is the gold shade, right? Yeah, the gold shade. Very beautiful. Very creamy on the lips. So pretty. Okay, so the last product I have on my hands is the Fenty Beauty Invisimatte Instant Setting and Blotting Powder. So this is how it looks. So you got the powder and it comes with this little sponge, and that's because it's a blotting powder also, so it's kind of supposed to, you can have this in your bag and then you can touch up in the T-zone or all over the face or where you want throughout the day with this little sponge. I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Powder Puff. And I'm actually just going all over the face to set the makeup and to make sure that I'm not becoming too oily throughout the day. It does actually blur quite a bit, and it does also mattify quite a bit. So I'm very excited to see, but I still have glow coming through, so it's not like totally mattified to a point where you don't have any luminosity to your skin. So I will keep you updated on this product and let you know if this works for very oily skin and keep your skin mattified throughout the day. So I want to finish up my makeup with the setting spray from Tilbury. I just need to go and pick it up. So my makeup is finished and I just set it with the Tilbury Flawless Setting Spray, and it did give some luminosity back into the skin so it doesn't look powdery. So I hope that my skin stays like this all day and doesn't get too greasy and oily. But I would say that all the products I tried today, just to sum up, especially this one, did surprise me very, very positively. I am a Natasha Denona makeup fan, so I'm so happy that this is a very nice surprise. I know that I am going to get a lot of use out of this, and I think it's perfect for travels. So I'm so happy I picked this one up. I don't know why I waited so long, but you know, there's a lot of makeup you need to try. So, and this Fenty Invisimatte powder, I will see if it works. And the mascara, I think it goes on very beautiful, and I'm just anxious to see if it stays on the lashes and doesn't transfer too much to the lids. And what more did I try? The lips, beautiful. I don't really know where I wanted to go with this combination, but I think it works okay. So I probably saw it somewhere and thought, oh, that looks pretty, I want that combination. So I like that a lot. And with the Precisely My Brow Detailer, it's also a nice product. If you want to be very detailed, as the name implies, then I think it's a very nice product. If you go a little bit more not precise, but just over the hairs in the way that I do, I think that this detailer is better. You get a better product for that purpose, I think. But the detailer is very nice if you want to draw hair strokes to your skin. So yeah, there you have it. That was me playing around with some new makeup. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can see the future videos. Otherwise, have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!